I heard that your dog passed away recently, so I made you this pet.
Thank you so much. The next dog will really like this.
That's funny.
Yeah, we're dogless. It's heartbreaking, but it takes a long time to get over it and get another dog, you know? Thank you.
Hi, I'm Alea,
I'm Dia. And I'm Oli.
and we're with the Santa Barbara Middle School's Teen Press, and we're here with...
TC Boyle.
You said in an interview that I watched that you like to switch between writing novels and writing short stories. Can you explain the process between writing short stories and writing novels, and which do you prefer?
Well, stories are shorter. I like them both equally. But as I said earlier, the problem with the novel is you're locked into it for a long period of time, a year or more. In some of my novels, it took me as much as 3 years to write them. With stories, anything that occurs to you in any mode, you can just knock it right off like a riff. So that if you look at any of my books of stories, they're all very different. Each one is very different in tone and style, and yet I might have written the craziest one right after the most moving or tragic one. You know, it's just great to be able to just change bases like that.
When you're writing, do you think about the age of your audience?
No, I don't think about the audience at all when I'm writing. It's like you make a painting. Do you think about the age of who's going to look at it? No. I'm writing for anybody who knows how to read.
What do you hope you're teaching your readers?
I'm not really teaching them anything. I'm not didactic in any way. The purpose of art is not to teach you anything. It's to make you enter a different world and appreciate it for what it is. If I teach anything at all to the world, it's that you can be an artist. You can be an artist and express yourself as you like in a free society.
What is your favorite part about writing novels and short stories?
Getting to the end. Getting to the end is my favorite part. Again, I never know what it's going to be or how it will turn out. And so it's like a high wire act. You have got all this material, you put it together, you can't give up now, and you keep pushing and pushing, and then at some point you discover what it will be in the composition of it. And I can't tell you how exhilarated I feel when it finally comes together. It's a great, great feeling. On tcboyle.com there's a little essay called This Monkey, My Back, and it talks directly about this kind of rush of exhilaration of seeing it all come together.
Which character from which book of yours do you relate to most and why?
A good question. I don't know if I could pin down an individual character. The characters I most relate to, though, I'm afraid, are the sort of angry punk characters, like Ned Rise from Water Music, or I suppose Dave LaJoy from the book you've read, When the Killing's Done. The bad guy of Talk, William Peck Wilson. Those characters are close to me and sort of easy for me to relate to. But of course I write a lot from a female point of view as well. And that's a challenge. I take that as a challenge, to write from any point of view, just as to write for anybody's age group or anybody who can read or appreciate it. So too, I think a good writer should be able to inhabit anybody of any age, including teens. For instance, my story, The Love of My Life, about teenage lovers in high school who are based on a real story, who went to separate colleges, but she was pregnant, and she hid it, and they met at a motel, gave birth, and tossed the fetus into a dumpster. This was reported in the national news. I wrote the story to find out what that would be, and it was published in the New Yorker, and 2 freshmen came into my office at USC, and they didn't even know I was there. They just saw the story in the New Yorker, and then they saw that I was there, and they came in and they said, "So, how do you know so much about teenagers?" And I let them in on a secret. And they didn't believe me, but I too was once a teenager. They said, "Nah."
What is something you hope to do besides literature in your lifetime?
I I think that's about it. Literature is about it for me. I could have done music, you know, at a band and so on, and I really love music, but I'm not the kind of person who could be a man of letters or who could do many different things at once. I can only focus on one thing.
And what is one moment in your life when you truly felt accomplished and happy?
Wow. Well, I mean, it would be usual and sweet to talk about my beautiful children and their birth and all that, but that really has nothing to do with it. I suppose you heard me just read a story in this classroom this morning, but I suppose the times when I'm on stage in a theater where there's a big, big audience and I'm reading them something and I can feel them and I know they're getting it. For instance, there's a story I have called Chicxulub. It's very grim. It's about, it's set here in Santa Barbara. It's about parents are getting ready for bed and they get a call that their daughter, who is 17, has been out with her friends and her car broke down. She's walking home. She gets hit by a car and she's apparently killed and she's in the hospital. It's this grueling, really grueling story. And I've read it to huge audiences. And it's so horrifying that at a point, nobody moves, nobody coughs, nobody shuffles. You know, you go to any theater or anything, people sneeze, they shuffle chairs, they grunt. There's a point at which I can feel everybody in the dark. They're just horrified. And that is a great feeling.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. You guys are great. Great questions.